What is up, everybody? It's your boy DGAB. Welcoming y'all to another episode of Calling All Bowlers, episode 28. We are getting everything ready to go and getting our guests invited in. Hope you guys have had a great Saturday. We'll get everybody in here and get ready to talk a little bit of bowling. What do y'all think about that? Talk a little bit of bowling with our guest. I see you, Sarah. Give me just a second. Sending out some invites here. Hey, Kens. All right, let's get Miss Sarah invited in here. Hey, Sarah. Let me send you the invite. Hey, there we go.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm great. How are you? Are you staying dry?
Let me tell you, I left that. I left it. I did. I told the GM. I said I'm going home.
Hmm.
I was like, I just don't need to be here right now. It would have frustrated me more if I would have stayed. So,
That's terrible.
uh, well,
Yeah.
well, it's something I've gotten accustomed to. So but that's here, there, nor yonder. Giving everybody a chance to get in here. Sarah, I appreciate you taking some time out of your day to. This is the season finale of Calling All Bowlers, so we are at another awesome ending, episode 28. For everybody coming in, welcome to the show. And again, Miss Sarah, thank you so much for taking time out of your day, and I'm glad we got this one off the ground.
Yes, thank you
And
for having me. I appreciate it. This
well,
is my first ever interview, so yeah, I'm excited.
that's all right. Well, like I said, we're going to give everybody a chance, like I said, to get in here. And if any of y'all have any questions towards the end of the episode, if you want to ask Sarah anything bowling related, please do so, and we will get that. I am sending out more invites in here because I know there's a lot of people on live right now, but we're still going to make it happen. So,
Okay.
but yeah, this is one of those things I give like a couple minutes in here and try to give people some time to come on down if they want to come in here. So, but you know what? Let's just start small here. How's your bowling been? I've saw a couple of your lives. You look like you never left the game. If I'm being
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I know. I don't know if you saw my last video for my first league night, but the team we were bowling against, they just could not believe I did not have an average. And so
hmm
they were giving me flack about it. I'm like, I seriously have not bowled. I have not had a sanctioned average since 2008. So yeah, and I literally just picked it up end of May, after being gone for since '08. So yeah, it's been fun. It's the game has changed a lot. Uh, I've learned that I need more than one ball because back then I had a spare ball and a strike ball and bowled out a house shot in just a couple houses. So I knew where to throw it. I was had around a 190, almost 200 average back then. But it's changed a lot. So I'm learning the ins and outs of sport shots and different equipment and what to use when and surface on a ball and like it's grown a lot.
Well, definitely, I would say that's about what 16, 17 year layoff. Is that
Yeah. Yeah.
so?
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, just kind of jumping right into that since we're on this topic. You come back after such a long layoff. What's the vibe? What's the feeling? What's going through your head like when you're stepping back out on the approach for the first time?
I mean, I tried to go at it like I never left and like literally still had I have a triple X factor from 2004 that I used. I bowled a 290 with that ball. That ball was my baby. Like I've held on to it all this time. It sat in my garage or my attic, and it's still functioning surprisingly. But the thumb has kind of started crack around it, so I've stopped using it. But like I started using that, and I just it was kind of like riding a bike. Like you just don't forget. I think I did it for so long. Like I started bowling when I was 5, back when YABA was still around. And I bowled in that until I graduated high school, like every Saturday. My first job was at a bowling alley when I was 15 and a half, working at the desk, going to get deadwood, cleaning tables. So I lived at a bowling alley all growing up. So I don't know, it just kind of came natural to me. But like I said, the changing in equipment and patterns has been a challenge, but I've enjoyed it so far. So, yeah.
Well, what was the first ball you got drilled when you made your comeback?
The Zen 25. I actually, when I was kind of teetering around maybe getting back into it, I did some research online to kind of maybe see what kind of ball I wanted to go with. And I just happened to come across this Storm demo that was happening at one of the local bowling alleys here in the Springs. I was like, oh, I'll go try that. I've never been to a demo before, and I had no idea what I was walking into. But basically, you know, you get fit. They fit you with grips, and they put it in a ball, and you can try out different balls and stuff. And so I did that, and I just threw the Zen, and it felt great. I liked it. And so I talked to the gentleman there in the pro shop and, you know, bought the ball and got remeasured, and he drilled it up for me. And yeah, that was so cool. Actually, I really haven't even been using it that much. Funny enough, I went to this demo, and there was a lady there and her husband that were helping work it. And the lady's name is Rena Sabo. And she has been a part of the PWBA Queens Senior Tour for the last couple of years. Just happened to meet her and talk to her husband, and they're just super nice people. And I kind of practiced alongside with her at this demo, and she was like, hey, I've got this exponent. Would you like it? And I'm like, sure, I'll take it. Sure. Because she's sponsored by Rotogrip, and she has all these balls, and she's like, I literally use them and will, you know, give them to people. So I was so grateful. I'm like, yes, I'll take it. So I got it drilled, and it's literally my go-to favorite ball is this exponent. Like I've bowled, I think my highest game so far has been like a 256 with it. But anyway, we got to talking, and we've actually become friends, and we practiced together, and we bowled some tournaments together. And we just started league last Tuesday, and she's kind of taken me under her wing, and I'm just so grateful for her. She's really given me some confidence in what I'm doing and my abilities, and like pushing me to like get better. And as a matter of fact, she is in Kansas City right now and just bowled in the USBC Senior Queens Championship, and she actually just won it today. So and she bowled a 300. A pure 300, so I'm like over the moon excited for her.
So that means that with all this expert tutelage you are getting from her, you're gonna reach that 300 soon.
I
right?
hope so. Yes, that's the goal. Yes, I would love to do that one day. Yes.
Okay. Well, let's do this. Okay. So I gotta ask you, where does the name Miss McFizzle come from?
So my husband, one of his buddies in college used to, like, you know, my last name's his last name's McFadden, and people would come up with weird nicknames, Mick something. And one of his buddies called him McFizzle as a joke. And he had it written down on something, and I saw it one day, and I was like, I could be Mrs. McFizzle. That'd be a good handle. So that's kind of how it came about. So, yeah.
Did you, were you ever, when younger days, were you ever a part of the Magic School Bus? Because that's the first thing I thought of.
Like Frizzle, right?
Yes, Miss McFrizzle. Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of. I was like, maybe there's something to that, because I used to read those books and watch those videos all the time when I was coming up through school. So that's the first thing your name made me think of.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, but no, that's not where it came from.
Yeah, okay. All right, I just wanted to ask if maybe there was something there, but no. That's fantastic. Like I said, it's one of the things of being on here. It's like you put something together, and now it's like I'm kind of become accustomed to people saying, "Hey, DGAB," but I know I've heard you say that to me in the lives, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
it's definitely picking up. So,
Yeah.
yeah, Miss McFizzle, it's clean off the tongue and it's easy to remember. So that's the again, I always tell people if they're asking for advice on getting stuff started, it's like make it make it memorable and
Yeah.
make it easy to remember. So there you go. You've already checked off 2 of those boxes. All right. Well, tell us a little bit more about yourself behind, besides just the bowling, because on your questionnaire here is first and foremost, the first thing I notice is you are very like you tell everything in detail. That makes me think like first thing I thought I was like she is very analytical, and I like that. So just tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, I currently live in Colorado Springs. I grew up in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. My family and I just on a whim decided to move here 3 years ago. I think when COVID happened, we just kind of reevaluated where we were in our careers and our kids, and just kind of like, I don't know. We always liked Colorado and was fond of it, and so we just started applying for jobs, and we moved here. And I absolutely love it. It's been amazing for our family, and it's had some challenges. My parents still live in Oklahoma, so going back to see them quite frequently, but leaving them, I'd never been out of Oklahoma, lived outside of Oklahoma before. So, but I'm married. I've been married since 2009, and I married my high school sweetheart. I have 3 kids. 2 are currently in college, and my youngest is in middle school. So I actually have 2 kids out of the house right now. So that's kind of another reason why I got into bowling again, is because my kids are older. Because back in 2008, when I had my son, I kind of gave it up just because life was busy and I just had different priorities. And yeah.
Okay. So, but you said you liked Colorado. I mean, was it predetermined where y'all were going, where y'all are at currently, or was this just kind of like because of the jobs that were offered and everything just fell into place?
We chose Colorado Springs just because proximity to where my husband found a job. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Well, outside of bowling, what do you like to do? Tell us some of your other hobbies and interests.
Oh gosh. Let's see. I like to travel, especially around Colorado. There's a lot of little small mountain towns. We'll get a cabin and go stay for a weekend and take kids and the dogs and just go kind of get away from the hustle and bustle of the city. I'm doing that. Big sports family. Both my daughter played volleyball. Both my sons play soccer. We watch soccer matches. We watch basketball and football. We're big OU fans here, and also the Oklahoma City Thunder. They just won. Big Thunder fans. My husband is a big Manchester United soccer fan, so there's a lot of American and English football in our house. A lot.
A lot of it.
Yes. There's the Switchbacks here in the Springs. That's a soccer team that we go watch frequently too. Haven't been to a Nuggets or a Broncos game yet, but that's on the list to go do.
Okay. Is that going to be this year?
Maybe.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. Right. I have a tournament literally every weekend pretty much. So
see, that's one of the things I like about, like, I see you bowling these tournaments, and it's something I wish the concept more so than anything would get down here to Bama, because here in North Alabama, we there's nothing going on every single weekend. It's either like, because we're within like Nashville or Atlanta, and most of them are doing their tournaments every weekend, and some of our people go up, and if there's something I wish there was more of, it was more of the local support. I wish I could see more of that, and hopefully it'll pick up, but it definitely makes me happy to see, like I said, you're going live every weekend and you're bowling something, so that's good to see.
Yeah, I've really liked doing that, and I like not only going live for other people to watch, but also my family can watch as well from out of state. So that's nice that they can still support me and watch. So yeah. My mom and my grandmother actually got me into bowling at a very young age. I remember them taking me to the bowling alley and putting me in the little nursery to be bowled. And then, around 5, I started bowling and just kind of hung out there a lot.
Would you say you took to bowling like as a natural?
I think so. Yeah, I did.
It was in the genes.
It was, for sure.
Okay.
I still have my grandmother's bowling shoes, her old Lynn's, like baby blue. I wore them for a long time, but they're starting to wear out, so I stopped. So now they're just.
I tell people all the time, you can't beat a pair of Lynn's. They'll last forever.
I mean, I probably still could bowl with them, but I'm like, I got some new ones, so yeah.
All right, so talking about some of your hobbies and interests outside of bowling. So let me ask you this, okay? You say you'll never turn down a chance to try a new restaurant or food. What is the most recent, newest restaurant that you have that y'all got to try?
Oh, man. Living in Oklahoma, Mexican food was like our go-to. Like we have our go-to Mexican restaurants. So there's one thing I have yet to find here in Colorado is a good Mexican restaurant. So that I miss. So anytime I go back to Oklahoma, it's Mexican food and Brahms. I don't know if you have ever heard of Brahms, but it's burgers and ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
But we did go to a Mexican restaurant here recently that was decent, but not Tex-Mex like I'm used to. But I'm trying to think. Yeah, I have really not been out to eat much lately. We've been very busy.
Okay. Well, okay. So let's lead into that. So somebody's visiting Colorado Springs for the first time. Where is a place that you're telling them that you should go try to eat?
Oh, there's a good place downtown called the Rabbit Hole. It is literally downstairs, like down under the city. And it actually used to be a mortuary. Like,
wow.
And it's like you go downstairs and it's like in this dark basement and it has like a Alice in Wonderland theme.
Okay.
Really cool drinks and it's just the vibe and the atmosphere is really almost like a speakeasy type vibe. It's really cool and the food is amazing.
Okay. Liz here says, I hear good things about Casa Bonita too.
I've not been to Casa Bonita in Denver yet. That's a bit of a drive for me. I'm about an hour and a half-ish from Denver, depending on the traffic on I-25. So.
Okay. I was going to say that. Yeah, that sounds like the Parkway here in Huntsville. It's depending on what time of day that you hit it.
It's one way. I mean, yeah.
All right. Continuing on here on the non-bowling related, because we got a lot of bowling stuff we're going to cover.
Okay.
But I want to know here, what did you want to be growing up?
Oh man, I played sports year round. I played volleyball, basketball, softball, and bowling. Like literally, I stayed busy all the time. Basketball was one of my favorite sports, and back when in high school is kind of when WNBA started, and I thought, oh man, I want to be a pro basketball player. But then I kind of got burnt out, unfortunately, playing that many sports for so long. And when I got to college, I played volleyball for a season, and then I played softball for a season, and then I was just kind of done with school for a while, just burned out. And I got really into crime scene investigation, the show CSI, and I thought I wanted to do that.
All right, favorite CSI character.
Oh God, I can't. What's his name? Oh my God.
Is it Grissom?
Grissom, yes. There you go.
All right.
It's been a long time since I've watched that.
That's my favorite show. That's why I knew it right off the bat.
I'm real big into Law and Order SVU, actually. That's my jam. I'm Olivia Benson, like, all day. SVU. Anyway, when I was in college, I actually took a criminal justice class. And when I told the professor what I wanted to do, and he was like, well, you're going to have to be a police officer if you want to do crime scene investigation. And at that time, that was true. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to be a police officer. So that I just kind of let that go and that wasn't for me. And now I just get my fix with documentaries and podcasts. And
latest podcast that you've listened to as far as the true crime?
Actually, it's called Sirens. It's a couple ladies that are from Oklahoma, and they talk about Oklahoma cases. So that is really fascinates me, especially when it's a case that like I heard about as a kid, or like it's near where I grew up, and I'm like, yeah.
Okay. So you want it to be, like I said, you've had a variety of things. Like I said, you want it to be pro basketball, you want it to be
Yeah.
CSI. It's like we're just jumping. We're jumping. Is this just we're throwing it against the wall or seeing what happens? Because you seem like the kind of person that just you very easygoing. It's like take it as it comes, take it as it goes.
I didn't I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do out of high school. It was just kind of go to college, play sports, and figure it out. So I did that for a little bit, and then I quit school and got married and had my daughter at a young age. I was 21 when I had her, and then I just became a mom, and that's just kind of what I did. I was a mom, and I worked jobs that were best fit for my family, and I gave up bowling. I used to play co-ed softball too, and I gave that up. And I think I just, like I said, took jobs that was best fit for my family. I was in education for a decade, and that was great because when my kids were little, we were on the same schedule, and I was off when they were off, so I could spend time with them.
Okay. So what do you currently do now for work?
I actually have like a career and a dream job that I absolutely love. I work for Team USA. I do like administrative work that supports NGBs, which is national governing bodies, and Olympic athletes. So
you're going to be the reason that bowling officially becomes an Olympic sport.
Oh, I was like, why? Well, they took it out. Like it's not any. It's gone now. It's not even a part of the Olympics anymore. I'm sad.
So,
and that's because of the Pan Am organization. I think they decided to take it out. It's an expensive sport to run. I mean, it's not like racquetball where you just have a court and you can set it up and they can play. Like you have to have an entire building.
Yeah.
And
well, I'm sure I would like to think that a lot of these bowling centers would definitely want something like that as far as like the support system, if you will. Mm-hmm. So, but maybe you can be the one that can turn that around.
Maybe. We'll see.
So
I was hoping to join it. I was like, I want to be on Team USA bowling team. Yes.
Have you gotten any coaching certifications?
No.
Are you wanting to?
I thought about it.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I'm bronze currently. You have to go through level 1, level 2, which are pretty much easy stuff. But with bronze, I don't know if they've changed the curriculum since I last became, but bronze was like a 2-day event. So it's like you had to dedicate a weekend. And I know silver is 3. And then if you were wanting to do the elusive gold, I think that's like a week and a half, 2 weeks long. So yeah, definitely time consuming, but I know there's not a lot of gold level coaches in the country. So if you hit gold, then you're really up there in the cream of the crop, if you will.
Definitely something that I would be interested in the future. Like maybe when I retire from working, and I always said I'd probably go work at a bowling alley again and just cook. Yeah.
All right. So name off one thing that most people might not know about Sarah.
Okay. A job that I used to have, I was a service tech at a utility company in Oklahoma. So I would go out and turn the natural gas on and light appliances, and I'd build settings, and like I'm actually pretty handy with tools and wrenches, and I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty. So I may not look like it, but I can actually fix things.
So it's safe to say you were helping your dad, handing him tools when you were younger?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My first car in high school was an 81 Camaro Z28, and that was one of the first things he taught me to do was change the tire and change the oil. So, yeah.
Wow. Z28. My mom and dad had a 78 Camaro and a 76 Laguna. And my dad had just gotten it painted in 92, and a guy hit him and put him into a fence and totaled it. I was 8 years old, and I was crying when they took it away because I was like, I was going to drive that when I was 16.
My senior year of high school,
Yeah.
my dad got the whole inside reupholstered for me, new radio, headliner, like it was looking great. And I was driving down the road. My dad was in the passenger seat, and all of a sudden it just started smoking out of the vents. And I pull over, and we get out, and I'm like calling 911 because I'm like, we popped the hood and there was flames. And right as the fire truck showed up, the whole inside just total loss. We had liability insurance on it.
Oh,
I was
no.
devastated. That car was my baby.
You know what's funny is I remember when I got my license, and my grandfather had just put liability on the car I was driving, and a week and a half after I got my license, a lady hit us. I don't understand the energy with that. I don't get that. It's like go to liability and boom. It's like, well, dadgummit.
And my dad paid $2,500 for that car, and that was in '97.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, apparently that's when things are affordable.
It was so much money.
No, that's a great. No, like I said, great car. Z28. Yeah. No, like I said, if somebody bought me a Laguna, I would cry right now, especially 76.
Well, it was the last year they made the long nose body style. So in high school, my husband, he hated my car. He said I looked like the Batmobile, but I'm like, because it was kind of dark gray, and the air conditioner didn't work, and I'm cranking down the window. I mean, I always had the windows down and my radio blasting and peeling out at every stop sign, and now I drive a Honda Civic.
Honda Civic. Okay.
Not
Just evolution, if you will. Is that behind that, or do you feel like you'd ever try to find a Z28 and rebuild it?
I would love to. When we finally move and I have a garage, a 3-car garage, I would love to get another Camaro and just putt around on it and build one from the ground up. Oh, I'd absolutely love that.
All right.
The newer ones are, I mean, I need metal, not this fiberglass.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Absolutely, yeah. They don't know. The younger crowd, they don't know about all that stuff.
No.
Well, let's do a league check here. We're going to start getting into the bowling aspect of it. So, how many leagues are you bowling?
Right now, just one. Just started last Tuesday. I've had some people ask me to bowl on Monday nights, but I'm like, 2 nights in a row is tough. I'm old. I can't do these late nights. 2 nights in a row.
Late nights, we're talking what, 8:30?
Oh, no. Where I live and where these bowling alleys are is like a 30-minute drive. So if I'm done at 9:30, I'm home 10-ish.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, and I get up at 6. So just, yeah. These late nights, I'm past my bedtime.
What is the most?
Sunday, Saturday morning tournaments.
Yeah. What is the most amount of leagues you bowled in a single season?
Oh, man. Back when I was probably 3 or 4, and then subbing on others.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So one right now with the potential to sub in a couple, but one's pretty comfortable for you right now with all these tournaments, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So this is kind of a 2-part question for you, okay? Well, it's kind of like then and now, if you will. Mm-hmm. So I always ask people, what do they feel in their personal opinion is the state of bowling? So the 2-part comes into play here. So when you were doing this, like pre-2008, how did you feel like the game was then? And then when you made the decision to come back into the game, how did it look from that perspective? And what differences have you seen?
Oh, man, that's a tough one. Back then, I would say it wasn't as, like, back then for me, even thinking about being a professional bowler was not even on my radar. Like, I don't think it was as prevalent back then. Like, I think those people that I knew bowled professionally, I just kind of had them up on this pedestal, and like, I never thought that was even a possibility. Like, and I literally just bowling on house shots back then. The whole sport pattern thing wasn't really, I mean, it was around, but it wasn't as prevalent as it is now. So I think compared to now, it has evolved so much. And then you tack on social media like TikTok and YouTube and like all these videos people can put out and ways that you can learn from other people. And and then, like I said before, with the equipment and sport shot patterns and just the amount of tournaments available. And yeah, it has changed a lot for me. Anyway, it's definitely, but I wish I would have realized my potential back then and really pursued it more. But I think I just didn't, like I said, it just wasn't on my radar. And now that I am in a place here, that's the next step I'm looking towards, being professional. Like, I want to bowl in the PWBA. Like, that's where I want to be.
And I would think a footnote to that is back then the PWBA was kind of a afterthought, and it wasn't even in existence, if you will. And now it's back in the forefront, which I think is absolutely great. Mm-hmm. And I've had these discussions with a lot of people on here about what the women are naturals. Like, they are smooth at the line. Their fundamentals are like flawless. And you could definitely tell the difference when you're watching a PWBA event versus like the PBA events. And that's my opinion, of course. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Matthew has a really good question here. Okay. He wants to ask you. It says, what would you say was the easiest / hardest thing to learn when you started bowling?
When I started bowling,
really good question, Matt.
I think timing and release, how to release the ball, and learning how to bowl fingertip, because growing up, I didn't have fingertip. I just threw it straight. So back in 2004, when I got that Triple X, that's when I first started learning how to throw with a fingertip and to lift and to put spin on the ball where it would hook. I think that was the hardest part for me. And then learning the timing of when to release it and how to follow through and not yank the crap out of it.
Right.
I will say too that one thing that I had to change when I came back was my thumb pitch, because before on my old ball, I had no thumb pitch at all. Like, it was straight. And coming back, I was dropping it a lot at the line, like behind the line, I was dropping it. And I was having a lot of wrist pain as well. So I was putting a lot of strain on my wrist because I was squeezing it, trying to hold on to it. So my release wasn't great. So I went in and talked to my friend James in Pro Shop, and he adjusted the pitch on my thumb in a little bit to where I wouldn't have to squeeze it as much. And that helped tremendously. And I don't have as much wrist pain anymore, and I can actually hold onto the ball and not feel like I'm like having to squeeze it.
Okay. See, I'm kind of in that in between too, where the forward pitch. Like, do you know how much forward pitch you've got?
I don't.
You don't? Okay. So some fun facts. If you ever get a chance, figure out how much pitch you got, because I'm thinking that you said if you were straight down in, and this is my PSO coming out in me right here, you know, because I drill them for a living. But it's like, if you're going straight down and in, I would think they pitched you towards the center so that you wouldn't squeeze as much. So no, very, very good.
Probably right. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Very good stuff right there for sure. Well, that brings me to the next question here. Okay. So again, for those of y'all just now coming in, appreciate you guys joining us for Calling All Bowlers. Again, we're talking to Sarah McFadden, also known as Miss McFizzle on here. If anybody has any other questions you want to ask Sarah, please put them into the chat. But Sarah, again, long layoff, made the comeback. What would you tell those who of their own long layoff, what advice would you give them for making the comeback after such a long layoff?
I would say take it slow. To be patient, give yourself grace, because I mean, some things can come back, muscle memory, but like after a long break, things have changed. Equipment has changed. Lane patterns have changed. Find a good pro shop to go to and get some good advice. Like that was instrumental for me, is finding someone I trusted and that listened to me, and like I felt like they cared and they believed in me. Because sometimes as a woman, you go in a pro shop, it's like, oh, I want a new ball. Okay, well, but I think sometimes they can look at you like maybe you don't know what you're doing, or you're not very good. It could be kind of judgmental. But I mean, you work in a pro shop, and you know, like when people come in, you listen to what they have to say, and you want to help them because that's what you're there for, and you want to see people succeed. And I think finding someone that you trust and that believes in you is important.
All right, great lead into this here. Okay, so you obviously have found your pro shop operator. You made the comment again about, and I want to speak on that part. I really want to like bring a perspective on that. So we'll get to that in a minute. But what are some traits when it comes to finding a pro shop operator that you were looking for? And when you found them, like just what made the difference in the world?
I feel like I'm a pretty good judge of people's character. And can get a good read on someone when you're talking to them and they look you in the eye and they genuinely listen to what you're saying. And then, you know, sometimes when you're talking to someone, they're distracted by something else and they're not really listening to what you're saying. And they just, you know, sometimes you can just feel kind of brushed off, like they don't take you seriously. So I think finding someone that takes the time to look at you and really be interested in what you have to say and what you're wanting to do. Yeah.
Okay. So you spoke on the being a woman, kind of felt brushed off. Take us through that, like that, because you obviously had your moments where you were looking for a PSO, and you were like, no, that's not it. No, that's not it. Where was that time you spoke of being brushed off? Like, what happened specifically?
I mean, I'd never been in this bowling alley before. I walked in the pro shop. I had my triple X in my hand. And there were two gentlemen there, and one guy was helping someone else, and the other guy was doing something. But I stood there for maybe 10 minutes, and neither of them looked up at me. Neither was like, hey, I'll be right with you. It was just like... yeah. So I stood there, and then finally the guy came over and I told him what I was doing, and I showed him my ball, and I was like, hey, I'm looking for something that compares to this. Like, I need a new ball. This is old. Like, can you tell? And he gave me the suggestion, and I'm like, okay, cool. I don't know. I just didn't get a good vibe. Like, you walk into a business and you're not greeted, and they just act like you're inconveniencing them. Like, I don't know. The vibe just was not there for me.
Okay. So basically, everybody in a nutshell, here's the deal: be kind to people.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is, it's like, and again, like I tell people, I'm here to educate, but another one of them things is you spoke of is being able to listen and know what the customer is looking for. And sometimes they are not looking to be educated. They are looking for pretty, or they're looking for shiny, or whatever the case may be. And it's just, and it's one of the things over my course of almost 20 years is I've had to work on being able to hear, because there's certain things that you can hear that go off and you're like, okay, this is what they're really looking for. So no, very good stuff there, Sarah. And just, you know, being able to educate everybody. And like I said, you're such a long layoff, you know. Let me ask you this. Did you feel like after a layoff, when you found your pro shop, you know, and you were like, did it seem, the word pro shop, did it seem intimidating ever at all? Like just the mindset of it?
No, because because the James that I met, that I work with now in the pro shop, he's been just amazing and just listens to me. And he stays so busy. Every time I go in there, there is a line of people out the door, but I always pop in and say hello and, you know, stop and chit chat. And he's just so sweet. And I actually thought he was much older than what he was, but he's only like 24. And I'm like, James, I have a daughter that's 22. Like, I thought he was like 30. Like, so he's like a son. Like, seriously, he's been amazing to work with. And like when I was telling him about my arm pain and like he's the one that suggested the pitch. I had no idea. Like, I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, we didn't talk about thumb pitches back in '08. Like, I had no idea. So just that small change and just the difference it's made. But like, he took the time to listen to me and like, let's come up with a solution.
That's awesome. That's how we want to do it. That's how the extraordinary PSOs operate. No, so that's really good to hear.
Him being young, he gives a different perspective too than generally what an older operator.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, I'm sure when you made your comeback to the game, you've seen a lot of traditional versus, old school versus new school concepts. So yeah, because I've definitely, and the thing about it is, it's like, I feel like in our age range, we're in that happy medium. It's like, we're cool enough to still be cool with the young ones, but we're respectful enough to know we have our wisdom, so it's kind of like a tale of like combining both of those. That's where I feel like I'm at anyway. So, all right. Well, speaking of which, like I said, we're talking about wisdom, what is the biggest life lesson you ever learned? And who, if anybody gave you this lesson, if it was told to you by somebody, who was it?
Let's see. I mean, life lesson. There's this is a Wayne Gretzky quote that it's always stayed with me is you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So like taking a risk, taking a shot, like it's okay. Like if you don't try, it's not going to happen. Like you've got to try. And I think that's kind of been the theme throughout the last few years for me. Making the move here to Colorado, that was a big risk. I don't think I talked about this earlier, but I'd actually gone back to school here to Colorado. That was a big risk. I don't think I talked about this earlier, but I'd actually gone back to school back in 2019, and I finished my bachelor's degree in 2019. 2021, I finished my bachelor's degree, and recently just finished my master's. So like, I never thought that would be possible, that I would get a master's degree. So like, just because of the way my life has gone, and like school wasn't for me at the time back in the early 2000s when I first started, but then and getting some life experience under me really helped me get through school. So I think betting on yourself and not giving up on yourself and like setting goals and trying to achieve them. And there were a lot of times I failed and things didn't work out, but that doesn't mean I'm going to quit trying. Yeah.
Have you, and again, this is like, before you had the layoff versus coming back, like, have you won any tournaments before? Has it been, if not, what's the highest you've placed?
The highest I've placed since I've been back, I think, was 6th out of 34. But in these tournaments, my goal was to make a cut. That's where I was just trying to do. I was just trying to make the first cut, like, because that was like non-existent for me. I didn't think that would ever happen. And the last 3 tournaments I bowled in, I've made the cut. And the most recent one, I was in first place. Handicap on the first cut, but scratch, I think I was like 2nd or 3rd, which is unheard of. Like, and it was all men. I think there was only 2 women in the whole group. So that was really cool. I was really excited. But then I get to the cut, and then I get to the tournament portion, and it's like I'm tired emotionally, mentally, physically. So now that I've made cuts, it's getting to that next point of like, okay, learning how to adjust to these broken down patterns, and me being broken down because I'm tired because I just bowled 6 games.
Mm-hmm. You ought to talk to our elder statesman, Mark Dillard, sometime, because he just got back from the PBA 50 up in Michigan, and he could definitely tell you a couple of things about working on endurance and stuff, because you know, Mark, and he even said it right here. He said you threw it good in that last tourney you went live in.
Oh, thanks, Mark.
All right. Best advice you were ever given, and from who?
I think a friend of mine told me to focus on what you can control, and don't stress on the rest. I think a lot of times I can worry about things and let things get to me that are out of my control. So I think learning how to just focus on what I can control, which a lot of times is my own emotions and my own feelings and what I'm doing, and not worry about what's going on the outside. I think taking that into bowling is important, especially like when we get in these tournaments. Like, you focus on what you're doing and what you can control, and not compare yourself to what these other people are doing or how they're bowling. Like, focusing on you and your own game and what you can control. So having that mindset and keeping that is hard, because it's easy to compare yourself to other people. But yeah, that focusing on what I can control.
And do you feel you have accomplished that in a lot of these tournaments you've bowled in recently?
Sometimes. There are times, yes. But when I first started in these tournaments, I could let other people's emotions get to me, especially when it's different as a woman when you're bowling in these tournaments with men, and sometimes they get upset and they get cranky, and sometimes that can rub off on me because their attitude and their, like, it can bring down the vibe on the pair for sure. I try to stay positive. I try to, high five and but some people just don't. Some people just, I don't know. I try not to let it get to me, and I try to just brush it off, but it can.
Let's go into that a little bit more. You
great.
You said it. No, you said it there. You are bowling really well. You're making cuts. Obviously, it's upsetting the guys, as you said, because you said, I think one of the tournaments there was only like you and one other woman, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you make the cut. Like, what? Tell us some of the things you're hearing, like, that are, like, obviously, like, they're trying to get you off your game. Like, what are you hearing at this point?
I mean, it's not that I'm hearing things. It's more of body language. There was one tournament that I was in, and I got some lucky strikes and struck out in the 10th frame, and they were light hits and they were just mixers. And this guy was standing behind my lane that was on my pair, and he was just like this. I was just like,
they weren't speaking any words to you. It was just their body language.
Body language, and it's like, most majority will come up to me and say, "Great game. Oh man, we're cheering for you. You did great." But I mean, sometimes there's some that just walk away, or give this, or
they got the defensive fold in the shoulders. Yep.
So I mean, it's that's the part of bowling. Like, it's just, I like the challenge, honestly. Like, and you know what? There's a lot of times I fail and I don't bowl well, but then sometimes there's sometimes that I do, and that I do beat the guys, and that's fun. But I'm not bitter when I lose.
Sounds like other people are bitter when they lose, though. That's what that seems like. But no, so everybody just now joining us again, welcome. We are talking with Sarah McFadden, also known as Miss McFizzle, here on TikTok. If anybody is just now getting in here, if you have any questions you want to ask, Miss Sarah, please let us know here in the chats and we'll start going through that. Welcome everybody to the show. Like I said, if y'all have any questions, let us know. Appreciate everybody joining us this evening. Yep, Rich is saying hello to you. Rich King Bowling, another guy that has been a previous guest on the show. Also, another cool thing about this is thank you for helping me check off the great state of Colorado in my quest to go across the country and interview at least one bowler in all the 50 states. I think this makes state 25 for me now.
Okay. Have you had one from Oklahoma yet?
No, not yet.
Okay. Well, you can kind of count me as Oklahoma a little bit.
I'm basically. People have told me that, but I'm like, I'm going where you're at currently. That's
okay,
kind of the thing. So yeah,
I got my Colorado service.
It's kind of the parameters. Like I'm actually working on a guy that he actually lives in Hawaii. I'm actually trying to work something with him. I figured that'd be pretty cool to get somebody. Well, see, Joe wants to do it, but I've already crossed off California. I had Miss Jen Fax from episode 7 or 8. It was a long time ago, but we checked that off. But one of the things about it that I can definitely say this is I've been really proud of is it's been a complete total balance of, like I said, interviewing men versus women. I like to get the difference in diversity and the thoughts. Nevada, I did Miss Maya. I don't know if y'all remember Maya DeB, and she hasn't made it in here tonight. But no, I interviewed Miss Maya. Yes, see, I love this series. I always look for. Well, Rich, I appreciate that. I really do. But no, y'all, like I said, if anybody's got any questions, we're talking to Miss Sarah here. She has been back. How long have you been back in the game now?
It's the end of May.
End of May. Okay, so that was from 2008. Wow, okay. 2008, y'all. See, and people tell me that my little layoff is temporary. Like, I was like, don't challenge me. I can get away from this.
And yeah, it's been a ride. I love it.
Rich, what post a question in the comments here, and we'll ask Miss Sarah and she can answer it away because we're getting down here to what I like to call the lynching hour, which is we're getting close to the end. So if anybody, like I said, if anybody's got any questions, please throw those in the comments. Let's see here. Okay, Rich wants me to ask you, how do you feel about sandbagging and handicap?
I was accused of this the other night, so
I was in the live. I heard that.
I don't know if you guys saw my last video, but I had a gentleman come up to me like, why don't you have an average? And this is the first league I've bowled in since 2008. He did not believe me. I'm like, I swear, look up on bowl.com. You can see my last average and what year it was. And he did not believe me. But I ended up setting a 191 average that night, which is not terrible. I missed some easy spares that I shouldn't have, but like I'm going to have it up above a 200 in no time. But sandbaggers, I mean, it's been like that forever. Like, it's just, until they take away handicap, it's not going to go away. Like, it's going to happen. Like, I've been in these tournaments where people with 50 plus handicap and bowl out of their mind over, shoot over 600. And it's like, how do you keep up with that? Like, it's just a chance of, like, what can you do? Like,
does it ever bother you though? Like, if you're going to a tournament,
it bothers me, but like, case in point, my friend Rena, she went to a tournament recently, and it was handicap. I want to say it was senior USBC senior something, but she was the only one in the tournament that didn't have handicap. All these other ladies had handicap. She had the highest scratch series of the entire tournament and didn't make the cut.
Do you know what that number was?
I'd have to look it up.
Oh,
I don't remember but she bowled great and had the highest scratch series, but did not make the cut. And she's like, that's why I don't bowl a lot of these handicap tournaments.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
And I agree. I agree that there are a lot of I like to call it swollen handicap tournaments, and I'm also on the other end of things too. And I know that your couple recent tournaments you bowled in, they were but it's like it's half and half. It's like you know what you're getting into, you know what to expect, so you got to do what you got to do. And sometimes, again, sometimes like you said, your friend went highest scratch series and didn't even sniff the cut. So it's it's one of those things, and I know why Rich is asking that because our episode went into almost a 2.5 hour discussion of.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, we really got we really went off in the rabbit hole, as you said earlier with the restaurant. So, but no, this is why I do a lot of my tournaments here. I make them scratch because it's like we're not going through this verification process. You know, it's basically you know what your skill level is. If you feel like you're up for it, come do it. This is what it's going. Yeah, it does get deep. Rich is white. If there's ever a night that you see me on here, Sarah, and you know a couple of us are in here because Mark is usually in here, Pickles is usually in here. Please come into the lives and give us. Please come in and feel free to give your thoughts on whenever we get to these little subjects. Because, like I said, we do get really, really deep off into these subjects.
Okay.
Let's see here. How do you feel about a 9-pin no tap with handicap?
No. No, I don't think that should be allowed. 9-pin no tap with handicap. No.
You know what I tell people all the time is like, I bet you can't shoot $2.99 in no tap. I'll bet all the money in my wallet.
Harder to bowl in no tap than it is regular.
Yeah, because it's like you're not really like pressured to carry the 10-pin or whatever.
Huh? Mm-hmm.
Let's see, scratch tournaments discourage new bowlers. Yeah, no, great point there, Chris. And again, as somebody that sees it on both sides of the coin, again, if I feel like if you have a place where you're dealing with a lot of the sandbagging issues, and there are a lot, because it's just the problem is it's like the regulating of them. There's so many gray areas.
Mm-hmm.
So we definitely, and again, like I said, we could go off into this rabbit hole if we really wanted to, but we're going to keep it right there for now. Sarah, here's a final question, okay? How do you want to be remembered by everybody?
Oh, someone who is kind and dependable and is supportive and positive. I think, you know, when I go to these tournaments and I meet people, I always try to be polite and kind to everyone and supportive. Like, even if I'm getting my butt whooped by someone, I'm cheering them on. And I think that's a majority of the bowling community, I would say, feels that way. Like, you see somebody about to bowl a 300, you're going to stop and watch and cheer them on. Like, even if they're bowling against you in a tournament, like, that's an amazing thing to do, and you want to cheer them on. So I think that's what I want to be remembered for, is someone who is positive and supportive of other people and, like, leaves a legacy of positivity. And, like, I want people to remember me as a smile on my face and, you know, a lending ear if they need it. Yeah.
Is there any closing remarks, anything you want to say to everybody out here listening to us right now?
I would like to give a shout out to Brittany Charles. She's one of the first ones that kind of I connected with when I got on TikTok and started making videos, and she's been super sweet and helpful, and we've become friends, and she really encouraged me to get a microphone and do these lives and interact. So that's been really fun, and she's just been really fun to talk to and bounce ideas off of. And I'm really hoping to get a little podcast going with her, just women bowlers maybe someday, and just kind of talk about our experiences. And also James Miller at the Revolution Pro Shop in Colorado Springs. He's who I talked about earlier. He's amazing. If you're in the Springs area and looking for a pro shop and some equipment, he's amazing to work with. And Rena Sabo, talked about her earlier as well. She's kind of like my mentor and kind of taken me under her wing, and I'm just so grateful to her and everything she's done for me just in these last couple months. And also, you, Mike, thank you for having me on here. I appreciate you messaging me and asking me to do this. Like I said, it's my first time doing an interview like this. So
Well, I am so glad that I was your first in that regard. I really am. That's Tony right here has a comment. Says, "I love her game. Her form is so simple yet strong."
Well, thank you. Thank you. I feel
It's just like we were talking about earlier with the women. Again, the women, it's simplistic. It's easy. It's just laid back. The fundamentals are so much more sound, and I will take that out. I will die on the mountain, as they say, with that.
Yeah, I do feel like my style is very traditional because that's what I grew up with and I grew up watching. So, yeah, and when I start struggling, that's what I think about is just, okay, I'm going to go back to basics of like just going to my normal approach and slowing down and like thinking about just the basic mechanics of what I'm doing and not overthinking it.
Okay, one last thing. I forgot to ask you. Goals this season for league and goals this season for tournaments.
I want to win a tournament. Love to win a tournament. I'm actually in a tournament tomorrow. It's a dual pattern.
Okay.
Which I'm really nervous about. I've never done a dual pattern. It's a short and a long pattern. So I'm kind of going to play around with which balls to use, which lane. And my goal for this season, I'd like to have over a 200 average to maintain that, which I've got a 191 right now. So I think I can get it there. I just got to make sure I'm getting my easy makeable spares, not missing them.
Just make your spares. That's all you got to. That's what I tell people all the time. Like I will. If you want to put the bug in somebody's ear as far as like a tournament, like a really unique one. About 2 or 3 seasons ago, I had one that I called the 8 Stages of Hell, and it was 8 different oil patterns on 8 different lanes.
Oh my gosh!
Let's see here. Kyle wants me to ask: do you bowl with or against Harmony much?
Who's that?
I don't know if I said the name right. That might have been. Well, again, so you're going to be live for that tomorrow, correct?
Possibly, yes, if I have a good internet connection. I know my league night where we bowl league is not a great signal, so I'm so sorry to those that tune in and watch it. It's like
I don't think there's a good signal in any of these bowling centers. It's like because I go in on Brett's lives when she's bowling league, and it'll start off strong, and then it'll start fritzing. See what I did there, Fritzl? Little pun, yeah. I'm full of puns. I don't know if you knew that.
That's
or not.
okay. Okay.
Kyle says Harmony Trend.
I don't know who that is.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I feel like a lot of bowling alleys are
with internet. Yeah, and they don't want to share the Wi-Fi password either. They're very stingy about that. So
well, they don't want to clog up. They don't want to clog up everybody being on their internet, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. No, if there's a good signal, I plan to go live tomorrow morning.
Okay. Well, what's the format of this tournament?
6 games across 6 pairs.
So just 6 games total and everything.
And then it's a cut.
Okay.
And they're doing something weird to where, like, if you make the next cut, if you're the lowest, the first game, if you're the lowest, you get a strike against you, and then if you get 2 strikes against you after the second game, then you're eliminated. So this format is kind of weird. I don't know. I'll find out more tomorrow.
Well, no, that sounds different. And again, if we're all about trying to mix things up, that's definitely the way to do it. Because I'm actually getting ready to do a tournament in November where after qualifying, if you're the top qualifier, you're guaranteed a spot in the title match. You will not finish any worse than second.
Nice.
So. But just put that bug in whoever runs y'all's tournaments in their ears and say, hey, what about 8 different oil patterns? All sport.
All 8. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, all sport. I did it with 4 games. So everybody crossed all 8 oil patterns in 4 games. And the winner for 4 games was like minus 65. Nobody averaged 200 on them. It was great.
Wow.
Yeah, those are my go-tos when I get a lot of people talking about the shots easy and I'm tired of the carry contest. See, that's one thing I've noticed. I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but it's like it's either a carry contest or it's too hard.
Yeah.
The scores are super high or the scores are too low for them.
Well, and it varies between traditional bowlers and then two-handers as well.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, and then who's throwing what equipment and what is doing to the oil and
Yeah. Do you does it mess with you as far as so like the topic of urethane is obviously a hot topic in the sport right now. So how do you feel about this whole ordeal?
I mean, I bowled not long ago on a Friday night little survival tournament, and there were two teenagers on my lane, both throwing urethane, right-handers, same spot. Like, and I couldn't do anything. Like, 1 minute my ball would carry, the next it would slide, and it just like, I don't know. It was, I get it. You need to learn how to adjust, but it completely messed up the shot. Like it did. Like there's like nothing you could do. It just made it really inconsistent. So
So basically, you're having a rough time with that.
I did have a rough, but I mean, that was really my first time. I mean, literally these two kids threw the same spot. Like,
So they were hitting their spot consistently, correct? Okay. Well, see, because there's been like a thing. There's a difference between like not hitting your target on a consistent basis versus hitting it. And I had this with one of my teammates too, and I was like, "Get ready, it's happening. We're gonna have to play around it."
I think that was my first experience with bowling against somebody that, like, two kids that were both throwing urethane in the same. Usually it's like the left-handers, but two right-handers throwing it, and like literally just learning how to maneuver that. So that was new for me because you generally don't see that really in many of the tournaments or league that I'm in right now anyway.
All right. Anybody has any last minute questions for Miss Sarah? Please put those into our chat right now because we are at the winching hour of the show. I want to take a little bit of time here, and I just want to say thank you to everybody that, again, you too, Miss Sarah, and everybody from before the last 3 or 4 weeks. I've been going nonstop on this, but we are fixing to take a break because, as y'all know, and I know Sarah spoke of it, it's football season.
Yep.
And, your boy DGAB here, he's a Bama fan, so he's gonna get his Bama. Yeah. I watched that Oklahoma game last year. You don't have to rub that in. I already knew how bad that was. So, but
Hey, my husband was born in Birmingham, so.
Oh, okay. All right. I got you. But no, like I said, y'all, it's been really awesome checking off a couple more states. And like I said, Sarah, thank you for helping me check off Colorado. Thank you for coming on here and talking to us about your story. Like I said, the long layoff, the perspective, and at the end of the day, I love what you're doing. I love what you're doing. I see that. Yeah.
Nobody said boomer sooner, so I had to give him.
You had to throw the horns down. But I definitely appreciate you coming in here and giving us a fresh perspective, especially when it's coming to, like I said, like ladies bowling in general. We've had some really good discussions about it. And if y'all end up with that idea for that podcast, please let me know because I am definitely interested in tuning in.
Oh, yeah, certainly.
Because it is definitely one of the subjects that, again, we could go an hour or two in and really, really go down the rabbit hole, if you will, as far as like pertaining to, because of one of our previous guests, her name's Steph. I don't know if you've seen any of her stuff, but her username is Steph Strikes Again.
Okay.
You get a chance, look at her stuff. She lives in, she's basically she's in the Nashville area. She is one of our previous guests of this show. Yes, Steph is awesome. And she is the reason why when I end my show and I use the words flippity flip, it's all because of Steph. So
Okay.
I have strong thoughts about it. So if y'all take guests, Liz, we know you do. Okay. And again, like I said, Liz was one of the ones from a couple weeks ago I had on, but it's one of those things of like the game is evolving so much. And like I said, you saw it firsthand when you made your comeback, just how different it was. And a lot of people don't think there's a lot of science to it, but there really is. And like I said, the education part is that's my contribution to it now because I can't roll the ball anymore. I've tried. The wrist is not letting me. And again, like I said, I tell people all the time, 3.5 decades of bowling. here we go. So let's see.
And honestly, back in '08, I forgot to mention this. I didn't bowl with a mark. I just threw it in an area, spot bowled. That's how I did it. So learning how like marks and break point, yeah, that's something completely new to me.
I completely agree, Gio. Bowling is a true game of physics and mental strength. To answer one more question here, I think Random Hard Life is asking, would you buy a new ball or re-drill if I just found out my PAP? You could go either way on that. Again, the positive access point. Do you know your positive access point, Sarah? Okay, another information to ask your pro shop operator.
Yep.
Just for, like I said, because it will make the shop operator's life a lot easier. Just in case. That's what I always encourage. It's like, yes, learn the stuff, but trust your PSLs. It's always good. Again, like I said, you got a great one, no doubt. Just again, let's see, me neither. I just let that. I totally get it, Chris. But talking to a PSO, I tell you, learning it is only going to help us because depending on, again, you might have a layoff and you never know. So just like Miss Sarah here, but. No, Miss Sarah, like I said, if you go live tomorrow, I'm definitely going to check in on you.
Thanks.
Again,
It's going to be interesting for sure.
yeah, and I'm sitting here going 90-0 on this, but no. First, like I said, thank you so much for joining us, telling us your story. It's been awesome. Everybody out there, thank you so much for joining us for Calling All Bowlers. Like I said, tonight, episode 28. I know mine only because I drilled a ball today for myself. Well, see, there you go, Kyle. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. But 28 episodes in, and your boy DGAB is about to take a break from it. Because, again, like I said, football season is just around the corner, and I know where I'm going to be. So,
Roll Tide.
Yeah, there you go. There we go. We'll go with that.
My accent comes out a little bit sometimes. So.
Your accent comes out. There we go. So, but no, everybody, thank you so much. I appreciate your support again, Sarah. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And, hey, you did great.
Oh, thank you.
You were worried about this? You did absolutely fantastic.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Again, Calling All Bowlers, episode 28. You will hear it from me first when we're back in action once again. And, again, you guys take care of yourselves. And, again, as our good friend Steph says, we'll catch you all on the flippity flip. Sarah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Bye.